Thank you, everybody, for being here for this beautiful evening in support of Ami Chen Mills for Supervisor. We are in our final 2 weeks as we head into this June primary. A very exciting race. Those of you who have been biking and driving around town are seeing more and more Ami Chen Mills signs. We have a great team. Everybody, I want to recognize the team. This is really a team effort. Linda Marin is here, Nora Hockman is here, Chris Crone is here, Selena Malaby is out there. Who else is on our team that I'm forgetting about? I'm on the team. Jane Weed Pomerantz is on the team, and she is hosting the party, even though she's not here tonight. Thank you to Jane and Ron. Really, this team came together and said, we want to have a champion for the climate issue. We want to have a champion for working people. We need a candidate who has a voice and who's not just trying to be a career politician climbing the ladder. And when Amy and I started talking about the possibility of this race, she said she knew that we needed more climate champions in office, and not enough people were taking it seriously. So my name is Adam Scow, Adam Bolaño Scow. I live in South County. I've been working on environmental issues for about 15, 20 years in Santa Cruz County. I was involved with the Desalination Right to Vote campaign. I was involved with deprivatizing Felton's water system. I was involved with banning fracking in Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Benito counties. I've been involved with a lot of fights for a long time. And that is why I decided to run for office a few years ago myself. And it's so important. I'm so excited to not really have to talk about federal and state policy. I have a big background in federal and state policy, but let me tell you, until we get a handle on local offices, that has got to be the priority from which we can then start to change and better state and federal policy. So we need to get a handle on our city council, our county supervisors, and our school boards right now. And the urgency is now, from this election and every election going forward. That's the priority, and we got to do it. And so we got to always keep building. We're not going to win every election. Our candidate might not win every election, but we have to win the debate. We have to win the issues. And that's even more important because it's never about one individual. It's ought to be always about the agenda. The other side, those who are dominated by greed, have a very clear agenda and are very, very well organized. Corporate America is extremely well organized, and the incentives are lined up. If you're a politician in line with that agenda, you are financially rewarded yourself. It works that easily for them. And for us who are not motivated by money, but about the future, about our families, our friends, and community, we're always up against the money. And that's how it's going to be for our generation, the next generation, the next generation. It's never going to be easy. So I'm thankful tonight we have such great music, and we've had a lot of music. And we're going to keep having great music because we have to enjoy this. As hard as it is, we have to enjoy the process, regardless of where we end up. So I met Amy because she came all the way down to Watsonville. Amy and I have met a few times, but we really started talking when she came to Watsonville last November. I helped us start this campaign in South County called the Campaign for Organic Regenerative Agriculture. Our vision is to make South County, and Batya Kagan is here, also part of that team, that Santa Cruz County, which is already a model for organic agriculture, and indeed one of the main counties where the USDA organic standard was born, we're a leader in organic agriculture. But we're only 30%, and we've been there for a while. That means 70% of what we're growing in this county is often using toxic, cancer-causing pesticides. And for why? So we can maximize certain berry production for a certain company, because I don't know if it's written in the religious text. I'm not an expert on religious studies, but I don't know if it was in the religious text that strawberries and raspberries have to be exported globally year-round, 365 days a year. But can we actually farm in a sustainable way that respects our groundwater and doesn't spray mothers and their infants to be born with learning disability chemicals, because that is what continues to happen in South County and throughout much of California. So we can improve that. and we have to improve, but we have to have elected officials, we have to have politicians in office who are working with us. No, there's not one savior. We need to have people at the city council, the county supervisors, and so that is what this race is all about in my mind. This is why I'm decided to be the campaign manager for the Ami Chen Mills campaign. This is why all of you are here, because there's something that's moving you, whether it's the environment, affordable housing, livable wages. There's a lot of issues that we care about as progressives, aren't there? And they're all important. So this is what we're here for today. This is why I'm excited to support Ami. We have run a very intense campaign, and I got to give Ami a ton of credit because she takes it so seriously. She does her research, she does her homework. She's meeting with people at all levels of office. She's not just gliding in, winging it. She really cares about knowing her stuff. And so I firmly believe we got a shot in making this runoff. We'll see what happens. But we're making a big impact on the race. Today was a great day. There's a great story in the Good Times, a very fair story. Ami has a letter in the Sentinel, and today our second mailer, which we're trying to still raise funds for, hit people's today in the mailboxes today, with great endorsements for people like Carolyn Rudolph, Steve Palmisano, Linda Marin. So it's a very great mailer. The timing worked out beautifully, and here we are today in Ron and Jane's backyard. So without further ado, please welcome our candidate for supervisor, Ami Chen Mills.
My name is Ami Chen Mills. Thank you so much for coming this evening. I know it wasn't hard with Tammy Brown and Yuji Tojo playing music. Some of you may not even be voting for me, but I'm glad you're here anyway. And I also really want to thank the team that's here, that's been supporting me this whole time, and we've really been supporting each other. It's really been a team effort. A lot of people aren't getting paid to be on this team. We're paying people according to their need. That's how this campaign is operating. And I just want to say a few words about my campaign and my philosophy. You've seen my yard signs. They say supervisor for everyone. And my team came up with that. And when they first came up with it, this is how I am. I'm like, how can I be for everyone? I'm going to do research on that. And because I was like, how could I possibly be for everyone? And I started to think about how that is. And one of the reasons I think is because I'm not taking money from the realtors. I'm not taking money from the developers. I'm not taking money from the big corporations. And that doesn't mean, thank you, and that doesn't mean that I won't listen. You know, I don't think all developers are bad. I hope real estate agents can make a living here, all this kind of thing. I'm happy to listen. So my motto is, you don't have to pay me to talk to me, basically. So to me, that feels like a supervisor for everyone. And it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you necessarily, but I will listen to you. Some of the things that we want to look at, like renter protections, we need to be listening to some landlords so that we can actually get something actually passed.
That's right.
So I think we need to start to come to the table together and collaborate, because we are in an emergency situation, housing-wise. I talk to people every day who are looking at homelessness within the next week, within the next month. It is a crisis situation, and what we need is low-income and very low-income affordable housing. That is what we are missing. We have a ton of market rate housing going up almost as we speak. And so this is why I think I have the independence and freedom to say, look, this is where we're going to focus in the county, is on permanent, supportive, low-income, affordable housing.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about just for a second is climate. And I've been at quite a few forums now with my opponents, and the climate issue comes up, and the news media brings it up a little bit, not that much actually. And here's the phrase: it's an existential crisis.
Yeah.
So I've heard that now probably 250 times. I call it the DNC talking point, right? It's an existential crisis, and moving right along. It is something we really have to think about. I mean, we've got the U.S. military talking about system-wide collapse in the next 20 years. And that could be not so bad, or it could be very bad. And that would depend on our advocacy from the positions of power that we have, and the and the platforms that we have to speak out. So we need to demand that CalPERS at the board level divest from fossil fuels. We need to make sure that we are tending to the mental health of our youth and all of us around climate by doing the very best we can. Regenerative agriculture, microgrids, alternative sources of power. This is my vision. And I just want to say there's someone who actually I like, who was on the city council, who's been writing about the Our Downtown, Our Future measure in a somewhat critical manner recently. And this person, who I like, so I'm not going to name the person, was saying that this is a fantasy to talk about low-income housing on different city parking lots. And it's a fantasy. It's people are living in a fantasy world. And I thought to myself, who's living in a fantasy world? Yeah. We're all living in a fantasy world when we're not paying attention to the fact that the climate science is saying we need to move, and we need to move so big time and so quickly that this is actually why I'm running. I thought, well, I could wait 4 years and see what shows up in 4 years, and I thought, no, actually, I can't wait 4 years. We cannot wait 4 years. So,
yeah, Amy.
Thank you. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that, I'm starting to feel like this whole county is sort of moving a little to the right of the Biden administration. And I'm like, what's Santa Cruz? And I say to myself, why can't we have nice things? And what I mean is, why can't we have innovative, progressive things? Why can't we have a tiny home village for people who are homeless?
Yes.
Why can't we? Other cities do these things, right? And everyone doesn't die. In fact, people live and they actually thrive, These are the kinds of solutions that we should be at least piloting in Santa Cruz County. And it is a wonder to me that we're not. And I think that has to do with who's been funding, one of my opponents, who's been funding recalls and shifting and moving everything to the right. And it's time to come back. I'm not saying that I'm not going to talk to those folks, because I will. I will talk to them. I will listen and try to work things out. But we need to really, really start to move and be innovative. And that's what I'm here for. That's what why I'm running. And thank you so much for coming. You guys are awesome. My team is awesome. Nora, Chris, Adam, Selena, Linda, and we've got climate activists. Who am I missing? Alex, UCSC student who's in class with me. Jane Weed Pomerantz, who's giving us this beautiful yard. And every time we meet, it's just, it's kind of a hoot. It's a lot of fun. And that's why we are where we are today, because of these folks who are putting in so much time and effort. It's amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.